everybody, what is going on? Brendan Miller here, back with another video. One of the biggest fish I ever caught was a large catfish caught up at Lake Erie off one of the break walls. This was many years ago. Me and my family were having a camping trip at a cabin and we decided to go fishing, so we went out on the break walls and fished right in the harbor entrance. And I caught this massive catfish. It was so big, in fact, that when I lifted it up on the stringer to show somebody, the metal ring on the stringer literally broke. The fish hit a rock and fell back into the water. I was devastated because I didn't really get a chance to weigh the fish. But the next day we went back out fishing again and my brother caught a catfish that was about the same size, and it happened to have a scar on its head. That fish clocked in at 16 pounds, and I like to think it was the same fish that I caught that day. It was a female, it had eggs in it, so it is very possible that it was on a bed and we were able to catch it twice. A couple of years later, I was back up at Lake Erie fishing off the same break wall, and I caught another catfish, this one about 11 pounds. And ever since then, that place has been a very special spot in my heart because I caught some of the biggest fish I've ever caught there. It has been probably 6 or 7 years since I was up there fishing off that break wall, and I think it's time to do that. As you guys can see by the clock, it is pretty early in the morning. I just made the coffee and we're going to load up the gear and get on the road. I got about a 2-hour drive ahead of me, so we better get going. Let's go. Alright guys, I just made it out to the fishing spot. As you can see, here is the break wall where I've caught those big catfish in the past. We got a couple interesting factors going on. We got some wind, as you can see there. We got some decent waves coming in. The thing that I was not expecting is the clarity of the water. It's looking pretty murky, especially on this far side. It looks like chocolate milk. Thankfully in this area it's not as murky. We have less than a foot of visibility. Now these conditions aren't ideal, but I did not drive 2 hours to turn around and go home. We're gonna give it a shot. You can fish in murky water, you just have to use the proper techniques. I am going to be fishing for catfish today, and catfish rely mostly on their sense of smell, so the clarity of the water shouldn't really affect the fishing. That being said, let's get some lines out and see what happens. Now when it comes to the technique I used to catch those 2 big catfish back in the day, the technique is as simple as it gets. It's a bobber with a hook and a bunch of night crawlers. I'd fish it close to the shore around the deep rocks, and that is where we caught those fish. When I got to the break wall, I wanted to use that exact same technique that I used those many years ago, the simple bobber rig and night crawlers. The only problem is it did not work at all. There was so much wind and current smashing against the rocks on the break wall that my bobber would literally just get slammed into the rocks and pretty much get washed on shore, and the line would get all tangled up in the rocks. So I decided to go with a standard bottom rig, basically just a slip weight, a small split shot right in front of the slip weight, and about a foot of leader and a hook with a gob of night crawlers on it. Very simple rig. You throw that out and you wait for the fish to bite. Got something on this one here. Doesn't feel super big. Oh, no, I don't have anything on that. I have a gob of weeds. Got one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, boys. Whoo! Got a fish. What do we got? Oh yeah. Hey! Catfish! Nice. It's a good one. Yes. Alrighty guys, first fish of the day. A beautiful channel catfish. Probably go 2-3 pounds. Not a giant, but he put up a great fight. This thing's got a gut on him though. He's definitely been feeding. That's a good sign. It means we're on the fish. Let's get him back and see if we can't get a big one. That's awesome, super exciting. We got a fish, let's keep going. That was exciting. Whew. Sweet. There we go. Got him. Another beautiful little channel. Awesome fish. Whew. They're coming fast now. Let's get back at it. Another beautiful catfish. The action's definitely heating up. I'm getting very excited. Whew. Awesome fish. That was a big fish. He wrapped me on a rock and broke me off. Got another one. I was getting ready to move, so I packed up my rods. This feels like a better fish. Whoa. What the world is this? Big old carp. big old carp. Huh? Yeah, it might not be a bad idea. Last thing I expected to catch is a carp. Yeah, isn't he? I'm out here going for catfish, I'm getting carp.
Wow, big old carp.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how not to sound it.
Yeah, I get you. Shoot. Here, I'll bring him over to this rock and see if he...
Alright. Come on, buddy.
Let's go. And... Whoa, whoa, whoa. There you go, there you go. Woo, the line broke. Nice. That was scary. The line just broke, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's the last thing I expected to catch today is a carp.
Right? That size too.
Yeah, on night crawlers.
Wow.
Huh.
See all the sea leopards on?
Yeah.
Yeah, the fishy came from in there. You want to see it?
Alright guys, as you can see right here, just caught a very large common carp. Just got a weight on it. It's around 12 pounds. Last thing I was expecting to catch today, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Alright, that was pretty fun. I was getting ready to move and I just cranked in one of my rods and the fish was on. The thing clocked in around 12 pounds on the scales. Those people over there wanted it, so I gave it to them to eat. I guess you can eat carp. They seem really excited about it, so it's all good. So as you guys can see, I had a pretty fun day out on the water. I was able to catch a couple of catfish, a nice big carp, and a nice sheephead. It was a ton of fun exploring that area and fishing those old familiar waters. I want to break down real quick the technique that I was using to catch these fish. Like I said, I was fishing a bottom rig, which basically just is a slip weight and a hook that rests on the bottom. There was a ton of current moving around the rocks, and that is where I primarily focused my efforts. I did not need to cast far, maybe 5 or 6 feet out from the rocks. The reason why these fish were staging so close to these rocks is because there was a ton of current moving right along the rocks. I could see a trail of debris, sticks, leaves, even logs would come floating by. There was obviously a lot of water movement right around these rocks. These fish would stage right by that current and wait for food to flow by. It was very interesting. I've never really seen this type of current situation in a lake before. It was definitely something new and interesting. This was another thing I figured out throughout the day, is that keeping constant bottom contact got me way better results. I was using 3 rods and some of the rods had lighter weights on them and the current would just move them around. Those rods did not get nearly as many bites. The first couple of fish came off one particular rod and I was trying to figure out why that was. It turns out I was using a much heavier weight on that rod and that kept that bait down on the bottom. So I made the switch and put heavier weights on all my rods and I started getting more consistent bites. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys want to see more videos where I go fishing for catfish and carp, I know I haven't done very many catfish videos. People are always like, when are you going to catch catfish? I caught some catfish in this video, but if you want to see me catch more catfish, definitely let me know down in the description below. Also, if you guys want to support the channel, you can check out my line of Signature Series swim baits down in the description, as well as some of my merch. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, stay hooked. I'll see you later.